Yeah. The rebellion, lesson 1, rebellion and redemption. The lesson in brief. Keynote text, Revelation 12:7. The students will know, fear, do. Know, begin to comprehend the great controversy as a universal struggle between good and evil. Fear, sense the struggle against sin and his or her own life and in the surrounding world. Do accept Christ as Lord in order to be victorious against the evil forces. Learning outline. First, know and fear. Third, do. Know. First, know the great controversy and its aftermath in our world. As a result of Adam's and Eve's yielding to Satan's deception, how was the custodianship of the earth affected? B. What is meant by Satan's becoming the ruler of this world? John 12:31. 2. Fear. Second, fear, the reality of the force of evil. What does the imagery of Christians as sheep among wolves or as a woman facing a terrifying dragon make you feel about your own inadequacy to face evil in and around you? B. What are the effects of Satan's rebellion and the subsequent fall of humanity into sin? Third, do. Obeying God's law of love. In view of the victory won by Christ, how can that victory become yours in your daily life? B. What does the fact that sin arose in a perfect being and a perfect world teach us about the power of choice with which God imbued intelligent beings? Summary. Even though we may never fully comprehend how sin could originate in a perfect creation, God has won victory for us through the death and the resurrection of Jesus Christ. We are invited to accept Christ's atoning sacrifice, which alone has power to save us from the assaults of evil in and around us. And this one inside the story, learning, step 1. Let's go. Learning cycle, step 1, 2, 3. Step 3. Yeah, it's also that time 15 minutes, I think. But I'll try step 1 to 3 like that. Step 1, motivate. Spotlight one scripture, Revelation chapter 12:7. Key concept for spiritual growth. Not only was there war in heaven, but Christ conquered and emerged victorious by his death on the cross. Revelation chapter 5:9. By that same blood, God's people overcome Satan and his agents. Revelation chapter 12:11. Just for teachers, every human being is involved in spiritual warfare. War, no doubt, conjures different images in our minds. Warfare in the ancient world conjures images of armored soldiers, horses, spears, and arrows. War in modern times makes us think of tanks, artillery, AK-47s, or even nuclear bombs. We imagine that display the populations and destroy the property along with destroying the landscape and human life. War also triggers annihilative emotions within the landscape of the human soul: bitterness, hatred, and vengeance. At the center of our war lies a point of contention. The matter in deep dispute may be one one of territorial concern, economic advantage, cultural advantage, or bio, 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 bigotry. Yeah, the war in heaven, as described by the revelator, revelator, though not fought with early weaponry, is no less intense and fierce. It is spiritual warfare, having moral and legal dimensions. The point of contention is God's law. Satan is not only an accuser of the brethren, but also an accuser of God. He has charged that God's law are unjust and arbitrary. Now the matter must be settled in the cosmic battlefield that is human elegance, while the devil employs deception, misrepresentation, insinuation, coercion, 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 destruction, and other such weapons. Christ's weapon of choice is love, self-sacrificing love. Opening activity. Share stories of recent wars around the world. Ask for volunteers from among the members of your class to share experiences in their own lives or in the lives of people they know that testify to the reality of spiritual warfare. How did they overcome the obstacles and besetments of such warfare? Step 2. Explore. Just for teachers, this week we studied the genesis of the great controversy. Emphasis is placed on the fact that Christ has won a decisive victory against the forces of evil on our behalf. Even though Satan continues to terrorize the world, and though we should not ignore his lethal attempts to deceive and destroy, he has been defeated by means of Christ's atoning sacrifice on the cross. We shall explore scripture passages that shed light on this cosmic conflict. Bible commentary. First, war in heaven. Review Revelation chapter 12, 7 through 13 with your class. We may never fully comprehend how sin could originate in a perfect universe with perfect beings. That is, first with Satan in heaven and subsequently with humans on earth. Notwithstanding, we do know that God imbued his intelligent creation with the freedom of choice. Satan's rebellion and Adam's disobedience against God's law of love stand as deliberate choices that Satan and Adam each made. Revelation chapter 12, 7 through 9 describes this primordial crisis, which started in heaven and spread to our world. Since then, our world has been embroiled in the struggle between good and evil. Revelation 12, 10 through 13. God's people are like lambs among wolves. Luke chapter 10, 3. When it comes to facing the forces of evil, however, their victory is assured. Revelation chapter 12, verse 11. As Christ, who cast the devil from heaven. Luke chapter 10, 18 also came to earth to defeat Satan, the usurper of the usurper of his territory. Discussion questions. 1. Suppose someone said, where I am neutral, I am neither on Satan's side nor on Christ's side. What is wrong with this type of thinking? 2. What does the imagery of lambs among wolves, Luke chapter 10:3, suggest about the human ability to withstand satanic deception? So, second, the fall of Satan described. Review Isaiah chapter 14, 4 and 12 through 15, and Ezekiel chapter 28, 2 and 12 through 19 with your class. It is clear that the figure described in Isaiah chapter 14 and Ezekiel chapter 28 represents more than the kings of Babylon and of Tyre, respectively. These passages go beyond those human kings to depict the fall of the figure commonly referred to as Lucifer, son of the morning, or morning star, son of dawn, according to the NIV and several modern translations for the Hebrew phrase Hele ben Sahar in Isaiah chapter 14, 12. Lucifer started out as an exceptional being, pure and selfless as the signet of perfection. He was wise, beautiful, and blameless in his deeds. From the day of creation, note that he was a created being. According to Ezekiel chapter 28:13, his abode was in Eden, the garden of God. The Septuagint, Septuagint, LXX, which is the Greek translation of the Old Testament, sheds light on this expression, Eden, the garden of God, as it reads, in the splendor of the paradise of God you were placed. Author's own translations. Our English paradise is from the Greek paradisos, which means a place of blessedness. Compare Luke chapter 23:43, 2 Corinthians chapter 12:4, Revelation chapter 2:7. Lucifer occupied the most exalted place any created being could desire on God's holy mountain, surrounded by luxury and wealth. The above form in Ezekiel chapter 28:14 depicts Lucifer as one who is walking to and fro among the stones of fire. The phrase walking to and fro, Hebrew hizahalakata, recalls from the story of Job what Satan says he had been doing on earth. Job 1:7. From the book of Job, we know that Satan masquerades as the leader of the earth. However, as a result of pride, Ezekiel chapter 28:17, compare Ezekiel chapter 28:2 and 6, he revealed in his position of privilege the gift of power assigned to him went straight to his head and defiled his heart. He began to think more highly of himself than he actually was. Corrupting wisdom, Shilahat Homaka, Ezekiel 28:17 suggests that Lucifer bent his intellectual abilities to do evil, and he sinned. Revelation chapter 12:7, along with Ezekiel 28:15 through 17, goes on to describe the expulsion of Satan from heaven. He came to our world and wrested dominion out of Adam's and Eve's hands. Satan now became the ruler of this world. John 12:31, 14:30, and 16:11. Job 1:6, 7, And chapter 2, verse 1 and 2, but God did not abandon human beings to their own devices. God announces